Hello everybody and welcome to Warzone Wednesday episode 11. This week I'm going to be talking about a topic that I'm sure you would have guessed I was going to be talking about if you've been following Star Wars recently, and that's Star Wars: The Old Republic patch 1.3. This is what everyone's talking about at the moment in the community, and the reason for this is because the announcement video came out suggesting, talking about all the new features that's going to be in 1.3. So I'm going to be on about that in this video, my opinion on things and such. So first of all, Star Wars: The Old Republic patch 1.3. It's going to be called Allies. The reason I've called it Allies is because it's all about bringing people together and getting people in groups easier and things like that. I think that's really cool. So the first addition they're adding to the game is the group finder. Now this is an excellent feature, something that we've wanted since the game came out, and that's kind of my concern, my first concern already. If we look back at, let's just look back at patch 1.2 for a second. So everything in patch 1.2 was features that should have been in the game right from the start, and I think that's what a lot of people were sort of disappointed about. It was good that they added them in. I mean, that's excellent. But it's all stuff that should have already been in there on release. This group finder thing is something that should have been in the game from release. A lot of people are going to flame me for this, but let's compare it to World of Warcraft, right? Now, a lot of people can say, well, it's not a valid argument comparing Star Wars: Old Republic to World of Warcraft, because World of Warcraft has had 7, 8, whatever years to develop its game. That is completely not true. That's like saying, well, let's compare a TV from 50 years ago to a TV now. You can't compare a TV from now and now because that other TV has had 50 years to develop it. Now, that's stupid. You wouldn't do that. You would compare to how it is now, because what should have happened is BioWare should have looked at World of Warcraft and gone, right, this is what they've added, we're going to add in all of that, plus this and plus that. They should have built up upon what World of Warcraft had to be a successful game, and I feel that they haven't done that, and that's kind of disappointing. So group finder was always in well, it wasn't always in World of Warcraft, but it's been in World of Warcraft for a long time, and it should have been in there from the start. At the end of the day, this is a PvE game, right? This is not a PvP based game. This is a PvE game, and they didn't have a group finder. I think that was really disappointing. It's good to see that they're adding it in now. That's brilliant, because it is so hard to find a group for some of the higher end game operations. So it's brilliant to see that they're adding that, but really, it should have been in the game right from the start, and I feel that, again, that they've kind of not let people down, but sort of rubbed people up the wrong way a bit. I mean, like I say, it's good that they're adding it in again, and I'm sure it will bring some people back. They are slowly drip feeding us all the stuff that should have been in the game from the start, and I don't necessarily think it was BioWare's fault. I think this all leads down to EA yet again. I think what happened was that EA were just pushing them to be on release, because if you have a look, they've said the legacy system, the rated war zones, the group finder, this was all stuff that was meant to be in the game from the start. And I think they wanted to do that, but they were just so rushed to get this game out that EA pushed them so much that they just couldn't do it. Yet again, it's EA just ruining everyone's games. I think they're to blame for this. But rant over, this is actually quite a good addition, and this group finder does look a lot better than World of Warcraft's group finder, which is really good to see. So I'm really glad they're implementing that feature. So the next feature they're going to be adding is server transfers. Some of you might know that the game has been dying quite a lot recently. They lost 600,000 subscribers so far. I think they're down to just below 1 million active subscribers now. And a lot of the servers have become dead. My server, at peak times, there's maybe about, I don't know, maybe about 30 people on the Republic fleet and about 80 on the Imperial fleet at peak times, and even at peak times it can take anything up to half an hour to get a pop for a Warzone. When the game first came out, it would be like instant pop, and it was like that for the first few months. It's just taken ages to queue for a Warzone now. Like, I can only ever get into a Warzone at peak times, and even then it takes a while, which is why the videos of Star Wars on my channel have been reduced, because it's been so hard to actually get decent Warzone footage, because when I do get into one, most of the time we get owned by Empire. So server transfers is brilliant, because my server is nearly dead now, and I'm going to be transferring to a PvP server, hopefully. They haven't said if it's going to be paid or not, but if it's going to be a feature actually in the patch, makes me seem to think that they're actually going to be a free feature. I'm not sure. We've got to wait for more clarification on this. So I'm not going to say it is a free feature, but I'm also not going to say it's not a free feature. So we'll just, so far, all we know is they're adding server transfers, and that's good to see. So I'm hoping it's not paid, because for some people they've got no choice. They are going to have to transfer, because some of these servers are dead. Like, my server's populated compared to some of the other servers. Some of the other servers are completely and utterly dead. I mean, my server was the most populated server on release, so I feel sorry for anyone who wasn't on that server, and their server's probably like 3 people on it, so that's good to see that they're adding server transfers. So the next feature they're going to be adding is more so expanding upon what they've added before, and that's the legacy system. They've said they're going to be expanding upon the legacy system for every single patch. That's brilliant to see because it is an excellent system and it's something unique to Star Wars. And in this patch, they're going to be adding these things called legacy perks. Now, there's not a lot of clarification on what exactly they are. They're really just kind of like items and rewards and to customize your character and your ship, etc. So that's really nice to see. Again, it's good to see that they're expanding upon what the legacy system has to offer to players, and I think the more they add, the more it'll encourage people to make more characters in different classes, and hopefully we can start seeing a variation in PvP as well, and not just full Sith Inquisitors and Consulars. So that's really good to see doing that. So next they're going to be adding this thing called adaptive gear. Now, again, this isn't something they're adding, they're just more expanding upon what was already there, and basically what they're doing is near enough making every single piece of gear in the game customizable with all your things like your armor, your modifications, and your enhancements, etc. All this social gear that you spend all your leveling time trying to work towards, you can actually wear and do well in. So, for example, say you got this cool looking social gear, but you don't want to wear it anywhere because your PvP gear, you know, your rated PvP gear is blatantly better. Well, now what you can do is you can take all those elements out your PvP gear, which you could anyway, but now you can actually put them into your social gear, and you can wear that social gear in PvP and do just as well. This kind of reminds me of the appearance system in Warhammer Online, except from it's the other way around. Instead of changing the appearance of your gear, you are changing your gear. You're changing the stats of that other gear. So it's like, say for in Warhammer, it's like getting a level 23 chest, taking all the stats off it, and getting all the stats off your Sovereign or, you know, Doomflayer chest and putting it all in there and wearing that. The long-winded way of changing the appearance, but I think it's really cool because it just adds a lot more customization, and I think it's an excellent feature they're going to be building upon in 1.3. So the final addition going to be adding this patch is augment tables. So this basically just allows you to customize your gear to a next level. It allows you to customize pretty much any item, and I think this is part of what this adaptive gear is. It's sort of part of the same feature, and these augment tables are going to be all around, I think, the Republic fleet. There might be one in your ship, but don't hold me on that. It'd be cool if there is. And yeah, that's another nice feature they're going to be adding. So finally, at the end of this video I'm watching, they've basically just said, you know, that's it, that's going to be 1.3, but they are going to be adding a lot of new exciting stuff in the future. And they teased us with a couple of screenshots. Now, I'm not going to go over these two screenshots briefly. I'm going to look at these screenshots in another video. This is going to be after, it's going to be as a separate video, not as a Warzone Wednesday, because this video is going to be long enough as it is. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Warzone Wednesday. It's a brief look at patch 1.3. Once there is more news, I will be going over it in a separate video, and hopefully we can start to see a lot more gameplay and information on this patch 1.3, and also a release date soon. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please like the video, that will really help. If we can get about 10-15 likes, that would be excellent, and I'm looking forward to playing Star Wars: The Old Republic again. So other than that, I will see you all next Wednesday.
Listen on the top and